And we are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gym in the Crypto, episode 1227. Today is Friday, May 24th, 2024, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, most days, at least these days, Monday through Friday at 10ish. Today's top stories. Is the House's Fit 21 bill really the legislation that crypto needs? Spot Ether ETFs receive official approval from the SEC. Spot Ether ETFs approved, but Gary Gensler didn't vote for them. Here's why. Ether ETFs will destroy ethos of crypto, says DeFi exec. Bitcoin dominance risk breaking 18-month uptrend on Ether ETF launch. Binance executive collapses during Nigeria trial for money laundering. SEC wins case against YouTuber Mbelina for unregistered crypto ICO promo. Algorand causes a stir with new ad bashing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. And Dogecoin dog Kabusu dies after 14 years as a meme, though some of it's being reported as 18. So, it probably was 18 years old, but after 14 years of a meme. Okay, got it. And much more. Of course, we're going to jump to prices. As a quick forewarning today, I am a bit under the weather, unfortunately. But I did want to come on and do the show. Initially, I was just going to cover the FIT 21 bill that passed and the Ethereum ETFs, but then I saw more fun stories. I was like, I got to talk about this, got to talk about this. And there's so much to cover with the ETFs. So I'm saying all to say, if I go silent or mute, I'm probably just coughing. I don't want to do it all on the microphone and all that good stuff. And then, yes, I'm looking crazy because I was also waking up by a fire in my building today. So our whole apartment was evacuated today in LA. They had the fire trucks there and everything. It smelled the burn. So I'm all messed up this morning. All right. So work with me. With that being said, toward the end of the show, definitely want, or actually toward the middle after I cover the, I want to throw my thoughts on the FIT 21 bill and the Ethereum ETFs. And then after that, I'll put the link in the chat. I definitely want you all to call in today. Want to hear your thoughts because I was thinking, I want to hear the thoughts of not just some of the people who watch our show that are some of our warriors who are well-versed. You know, shout out to Reggie, shout out to OMAC. I know, I hope you all tap in so we can get you guys expert analysis, but also for some of the warriors out there who can admit that, hey, I don't know that much what I'm doing. I'm in the middle of the road. I would love to hear you all's thoughts on what's going on with Ethereum ETFs and your thought how that's going to play out. I think that'll be an interesting conversation. So if you have time to call in today, I know a lot of you listen to at work, feel free. And again, if I mute myself, it's probably because I'm coughing up along in the background. I don't got nobody to tag in though. So with that being said, let's get this show started. First and foremost, let's go ahead and check out the prices on the day. Not much moving here. Let me refresh the screen. You know, these things change in crypto every 30, 40 seconds. You talk for a minute straight and the price could be $1,000 difference. All right. Let's see. Bitcoin, of course, is coming in sideways action still, but nice. But that's always good as it stays close to the 70K mark. Bitcoin is at $67,168, down 1.23%. Ethereum at $3,686. I was gonna say 3,600, but I'll just say the right thing. Down 2.75%. By the way, that's actually pretty good for a sell the news type of event. And that's what this dip is today. This is a sell the news event. So you're talking about a 3% drop. Woo-wee! Win moon. Number 4, BNB 595. There we go. It was at like 600 the other day. Hold on. Bring yourself back to these 4s and 5s. Stop acting like you all snooty all of a sudden. Nah. BNB is at 595 and 65 cents, up 0.27%. Up here we go. The first one that quick. So I'm telling you, folks, I would not have the oxygen today to go on my full rant like I want. Hold on. All right. So let's see. Number 7, XRP at 53 cents, down 0.33%. Number 9, Toncoin at $6.18, down 2.28%. And number 10, Cardano at 45 cents, down 2.24%. So those are your trending tokens on the day. Fear and Greed Index is at a 64. Let's see, recently added Ape.lol, Savannah Haas, and Ape Tardio. Hilarious. Like, what? Oh, man, you got to love crypto. Trending tokens are Athena. I keep seeing trending a few times. Oh, my goodness. Why didn't we think of that as a token? Dragon Ball Z Tribute. Shout out to that. That's a cool token name. I love it. Honestly, a token. And that's what I mean, people, like with the meme thing. It literally could be, it's not even could. It's going to be a shit project. It doesn't need to be anything. It could be, hey, this is nothing but a collectible token, okay? You'll never be able to make money on it, spend it, whatever. But since it's a fun collectible token, people will still buy it, and then you will be able to make money on it, spend it, and whatever. But yes, just the name Dragon Ball Z tribute. I know people have to look. I love it. Look at me. I just saw this morning. Dragon Ball Z. You got a shout out. And then, of course, TAR's protocol. I said, of course. I never even heard of that. All right. This is something we're going to be talking about in depth today. I kind of mentioned it the other day, but new stories are coming out. New information is being passed and shared. And I'm getting a better picture of what's going on. And I'm more or less, this show is going to be a double down of Wednesday. And yes, Ethereum and Bitcoin dominance is going to have a lot to do with that. And surprisingly enough, which is why, again, of course, you Warriors is what really made me want to come on today, talk to the Warriors. Y'all motivate me every day. But also, just the fact that the story was out there as an opinion piece about Bitcoin dominance, I was like, I definitely was going to talk about that today because, and I haven't even read the story. I've only seen the headline, but I am telling you, I have some stuff to talk about. But let's get into it. 17.7% Ethereum dominance. This is probably the highest it's been, if not in a while, forever. And then you have Bitcoin dominance slipping now at 52.8%. And again, I lied. I'm going to have a mini rant still. I'll probably cough through it. I won't be able to mute all through it. But basically, man, the fix is in. Once again, the fix is in, people. I don't like this is literally the Jekyll, the monster on Jekyll Island, whatever, the financial book. This is it happening in front of us again. But we're going to talk about it. First and foremost, though, let me give some quick shout outs. Speaking of the Warriors, again, you all are the reason why I was like, stop being weak, King, and get yourself in that chair and just talk about crypto for the next hour or whatever. But quick shout outs. What's going on? Satoshi Slim, BK Crypto, Memories of Mike, Lord Smith, Tommy Brown, Bar None, Crypto Night Train, Hyben, Janine, JD, Perry, Price, Wisdom, Holloway, Bam. Good morning. Good morning. Are you all up in here today? What's going on? Local TX, Crypt Work, Zyro, Kevin Cummings. Thank you, Kevin. Creature from Jekyll Island. Yes, that is happening right now. Oh my goodness, it's happening right now, people. We're going to have to go through a refresh on that. But let's get to it. Top story of the day is actually an opinion piece. And again, it's shout out to the community. We are all pretty much on the same page with a lot of things that are happening right now. Granted, I'm sure a lot of them are watching the show and not saying anything too, because a lot of their opinion pieces come out after this show comes out. But whatever, everyone's kind of on the same page with a lot of things. I saw the headline for this one, and this was something I wanted to kind of jump into. We won't spend too much time because, again, I think this is what essentially shaped the way for Ethereum ETFs to even really happen and then move forward as everything's going to move forward. So is the House's FIT 21 bill really the legislation that crypto needs? So if you aren't aware, a new bill just passed across the floor the other day. We talked about it a couple of days ago. I believe, was it Wednesday night? They were voting on it. Thursday, the vote came out. And it looks like, they were restricting or taking some powers away from the SEC. In reality, that's not exactly what happened. All they did was empower the entire federal government, which I said what would happen. So it was one of those things where like people who were waiting for FIT 21 thinking they would be saved, like companies or projects. It's like, no, you're not going to be saved. If anything, the way it turned out, you're going to be in a worse predicament because there'll be multiple government agencies coming after you now, and they'll actually have like I don't know if credence is the right word off the top of my head right now. I told you I'm not feeling great, but they'll essentially they'll have like the power from the government to come after you. Multiple agencies. They'll be like, yeah, it's almost like civil and criminal. They'll be like, yeah, well, that was civil. Now we're trying to lock you up, and vice versa. What you did was criminal. You got locked up, but you owe a financial penalty. So this is going to be the same thing moving forward with this new bill being passed. They just empowered themselves. Something I said the federal government will always do. And by the way, the biggest red flag, like I said, was both sides of the House were on it. Democrats and Republicans said, okay, we're good with this. That was the biggest red flag when it comes to this. And the only time, of course, Democrats and Republicans really come together like that is not to protect Americans, it's to enhance the power of the federal government. So that is the game. If you know it, you know it. But while many in the industry cheered the passing of the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act yesterday, many others raised criticisms and concerns. And again, I talked about this on Wednesday, so I won't go super in depth. But I do want to kind of, I want to scroll through this article to see if they have any of the same thoughts I had as far as this goes. And I'm pretty certain they do. Just the fact that that's the headline is like, yo, you got to know actually what this means and what happened to understand how it's going to affect us as a community. The House voted 279 to 136 on Wednesday to pass the much heralded Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, FIT 21, which has been cast as a major win for the industry, considering this is the furthest any crypto-focused legislation has made it thus far in the U.S. The bill, which saw support from the vast majority of Republicans as well as 71 Democrats, will now head to Senate, though likely not this year. All right, so that means basically half of it's done, has been passed. Doesn't mean it's actually going to be put into fruition, but more than likely, if you get both sides of the aisle in on it, then yes, it will eventually get passed by Senate. So this could be 6 months to a year from now before it takes effect. But what was more important was the signaling internally. So what is that? The SEC, Gary Gensler, the CFTC, all the people who are in the know in the government. This was for them. This wasn't for citizens and mom and pops and all that. This is for everyone on the government and federal level to know who runs what, where, and how. So again, like, though the Senate hasn't signed it yet, Gary understands what's coming. The SEC understands what's coming. The CFTC understands what's coming. So again, for it to be official, yes, you need that Senate, but I think it's kind of already informally pretty official. If passed, the bill would set up a regulatory framework for digital assets, helping to define when a certain token is a security or commodity. Again, slippery slope, because how and why are we going, like, man, I'm gonna run out of breath trying to like go crazy on them. Once again, the United States is coming out saying, hey, we are going to determine what a global currency is or a global digital asset is for the entire planet. No one's going to get their say. No one gets 2 cents. No. The U.S. has said, we got this. The United States is going to come out and decide what's a security and commodity according to them for the entire global crypto system. You got to love it. Let's see, while the bill is largely thought to increase the Commodity Futures Trading Commission's oversight of crypto, the Securities and Exchange Commission will likely continue to play a significant role in regulating the industry. If anything, people, one of the things this is actually going to do, while it gives them both power, is confuse the project. So you remember literally just a few days ago, I was talking about, hey, I know the methods to go to war with the government as far as legally, like, all right, write up 100-page documents nonstop and like submit them to the courts for whatever's going on. Like, that was stall them out the same way they'll stall you out. This is going to add another layer. Now it will be a 2-pronged attack. So instead of the SEC just coming after you and subpoenaing you and slowing down your projects, now you're going to have the CFTC doing it too. So literally, as a project, you now have 2 federal government agencies who have the authority. That's the word I was looking for, the authority. I haven't looked at the comments. I'm sure you all probably hooked me up already. But who have the authority to come after you legally here in this country. So, it's going to get interesting for projects. Oh, and I want to be clear too. The government is doing this to get money. Like, right, this is a money grab. Very short-sighted though, because while you're doing these money grabs, all it takes is for one great project to like swing the home run. Then we have an American team or project that has a global whatever, global reach or global scale when it comes to whatever token or utility or whatever they're trying to do. They're doing something on a globe. Like, essentially, what if Binance started in the US, right? We got Coinbase. What if you have Binance too? Like, some of these other companies, exchanges, projects, you are going to kill them before they get started. It's through taxation and regulation. It is what it is. And with that being said, something I was going to say in the ETF talk here in a moment too, people, I'm not going to lie. We'll see how everything shapes out. But next year very well may be like my last public year in this space. Like, I'm being serious, because I think it's going to get crazy and dangerous both at the same time. And it's just, we'll talk about it here in a second. Let's see. It does not. Okay. While many have said the bill is something of a turning point for crypto in the US, not everyone thinks it will pan out as expected, as myself as well. It does not even shift agencies. SEC will still have huge power. It provides a dual regulatory regime split between SEC and CFTC. It does this by giving the CFTC authority it never had, regulatory authority over a spot commodities market. Legal expert Gabrielle Shapiro said on X, man, we have been psyop so bad on this Fit 21 thing. No, not we. We got to stop saying we. You all who want the government involved and want taxes for whatever reason and want regulation for whatever reason and want all of that, you have officially got it. Listen, all this did was to give the federal government even more power over the SEC and CFTC, then give them essentially equal power so that neither the SEC could try to overstep Congress or the government, nor the CFTC, because they'll be fighting back and forth. And then for every project out there as well, there's no way we'll see another XRP win over SEC. Why? Because they'll be fighting the CFTC at the same time. How do I know that? Why would XRP be fighting the CFT at the same time? I don't know. Do you think they're, hold on, let me get the camera up. Let me get the camera up. And I'm using this as an example, but still, do you think XRP does not want an ETF in America? Right. So like I said, they're going to play ball too, everybody. Like there won't be any more wins, like singular wins against a government agency in this space. So already, like, I don't think you all understand the amount of power of self-regulation and power as a crypto market we had that is officially gone from a legal sense in the United States specific. So yeah, for the most part, that's the FIT 21 bill. This was important again because especially on the commodity side, the CFTC side, before we got the spot Ethereum ETFs and any other ETFs passing that through, we had to decide, hey, are they securities or commodities? Like, how are we going to work this? How are we going to tax this? Who's going to do what with it? And I'll be talking about that as well here in a moment. But essentially, the SEC already had their chance with spot Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs. I'm about to point it out in a minute. They've already had their chance to do this, and they failed. So this is the government giving the CFTC their chance to run the program and see what happens. What do you mean the SEC failed? Oh, you all forgot about STOs, huh? We're about to talk about it in a second. Oh, we're about to get into it in a second. That's why I was like, I knew the show was going to be long today because it's just people, it's madness going on right now. But all right. In other words, the bill is essentially a way for the government to sanction. Here, let me bring this back up for you. In other words, the bill is essentially a way for the government to sanction activities that the industry has already been doing without permission and potentially sets up an agency to interfere with what are supposedly free and open markets. Exactly. Barriers to entry, stifling competition and the competition to the American financial market. And last but not least, taking over the entire crypto market, or at least having the ability to manipulate it when you want to. Because you got to remember, they started from zero. I told you this is going to be years planned. We started showing what, 2017, right? In 2017, I was saying, when you talk about China, America, everyone, they do not plan like in 1 year or right now terms. Everything they do and say on a broad level, they're looking at 20, 50, 75, 100 years, like usually kind of that frame too. It's like, all right, next 20, what the next 20 gonna look like? They're like, all right, well, what will the next 50 look like? Okay, what about 75, 60 to 75, and then 100 years later, what do we want to be? We won't be alive, we won't be here, but this is what we want it to look like. The government has already shown us this in the crypto space in the last 7 years. Some of you all who have followed this show, you've seen it. You remember when we first started this show, Bitcoin, $1,200, $1,500, $3,000, whatever. It was still fake. Only shadowy, super hooded, super coders, wherever, they were still saying that up until like 2 years ago. Like everything about Bitcoin and crypto was bad and terrible, and we can't have it. It won't work, and so on and so forth. Now we literally just pass a rule where they're like, no, well, our government agencies can decide what the crypto is going to be and how it's going to be controlled and taxed and enforced. Like my, how far we came. Where do you think we're going to be in another 7 years, 20 years? I already know how this is about to go, which is why I mentioned the monster on Jekyll Island, which is why I'm also saying I hope it don't go like this. But again, I am going to prep myself to get out of here next year publicly, if so be it, because it's going to get dirtier and dirtier and dirty now that we got this spot Ether ETF pass. We're about to talk about it. All right. Let's get to it. Let me see. Like I said, I didn't see this article yet, so I just want to scroll through and make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. All right. I think we, for the most part, hit it. Here's a Gary. I saw something about Gary Gensler. SEC Chair Gary Gensler has said the effort would create more confusion and regulatory gaps than it closes. Gensler has said for years that the law is clear and that there should not be bespoke rules for crypto. Oh, well, there we go. I didn't read the article, people. I just said that. It's going to create more confusion. Shout out to the American government, and shout out to myself for understanding how they work. Shout out to all my bosses in the military who taught me how it works, because I didn't learn it on my own. I mean, holy smokes, I didn't even read this. There it is. Even SEC Chair Gary Gensler is saying this is going to create confusion. Like I said the other day, he may be the hero we didn't know we needed. Like he might have been the dam holding the water at a smooth level, a constant level. He may have been that person, and it's over with. Fit 21 just reduced his, well, not necessarily. Well, they reduced Gensler's power by passing it, right? Like informally. But they didn't really reduce the SEC's power that much. They just empowered the CFTC more, I think. But regardless, like he sees it too. People, this confusion is good for the federal government, okay? Because now it's going to be harder to fight them. And when you're talking about taking people's money, come on, you don't want them to know who to fight. Just take the money, make them get confused. Go through court system, CFTC, call the SEC. You got to call Congress. We don't know who to call. Good luck. 4 years later, hey, all right, we'll give you a little bit back. I don't need it now. Hell. So that's probably going to be how this thing goes. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the day. Here, let me actually check out some comments first because I see there's a ton of comments. And then we're going to get into meat and potatoes of this Ethereum ETF, what I think this means for crypto as a whole, how this is super dangerous, oh man, so on and so forth. Let me look at some of the comments. See you all got. Yeah, rest in peace to the Doge coin dog for sure. Let's see. Morning for everybody who just joined as well. Yeah, Saber said the Dragon Ball Z tribute sounds fire. Why lie? That's what I'm saying. Like, and I didn't even look at the token on the project. I know it's a POS, but it's just like the DJ in me is like, it's Dragon Ball. Like, I mean, it was a good idea. Yeah, I mean, all you did was copy and paste code and rename it. It's a good idea. That was Dragon Ball Z. Like, somebody do a Naruto one. There you go. Go get some money. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, there we go. Reggie. Shout out to Reggie's in the house. Ethereum will easily flip Bitcoin once it trades through an ETF. It's just much too functional in comparison. I'm not going to say easily, but Reggie, you know, I'm on the same page right now, which is why I said in the next year I might be out. I'm going to put that link down here in a second. Because yeah, Reggie, you're gonna steal my thunder, Reggie. We already on the same page, man. I'm on the same page as well. I already know, man. It's about to get ugly, people. CFTC has been better than SEC so far. We needed regulation. I disagree. I think we needed. No, I do agree. We did need regulation, but I think self-regulation would have worked. It has been working. It just don't work for people who are only in here for money. Okay, so if you're one of the people who are just like, no, I only care about the money, then even government regulation won't help you all. Like government regulation won't help. It don't help you on Wall Street. It's not going to help you here either. So it's one of those things where I think self-regulation is truly the best thing. Everyone being like an engaged citizen, like we're all supposed to be in a real democracy. So whether it's me or another YouTuber or a news channel or a report, like, yeah, at least once a week or once a month doing a 2-minute, what's going on in the space? Who do we need to make sure not getting money? Who do we need to pivot some capital to? Like self-regulation to me does work. I don't know. That's what I thought. Let's see. But I understand what you're saying too. It is you do got some madness in here. So it is what it is. Hey, listen, at this point, I'm not even like debating or being mad or whatever about it. It is what it is. Regulation is here and it's about to come even. No diddler it's coming harder here in no time. Okay. Excuse me. Wait, the SEC is not a government agency. So why do you think the SEC has huge power again? Knez, I absolutely agree with you. But can you go tell them that? They're supposed to be a regulatory body. I agree with you. I'm well versed in all of this. I use a lot of layman terms and I get it. But can somebody tell the SEC that? Because hey, if it's up to them, they can arrest you, take your money, and do what they want to do, and our government support it. So as long as it's happening, it's happening. So they come in for what we got now? Not necessarily. I won't say they're coming for what we got. They're going to manipulate it, dilute it, and then destroy it. The same way they did with gold. We are in motion right now. That this Ethereum ETF is doing that. It's going to make it get manipulated, diluted, and destroyed. So right now, next year is going to be a crazy year. It's going to be a parabolic year, I think. And then I think after that, when that next dip comes, you know how we're all like, all right, dip, and then we're going to get crazy. We'll get a crazy high again, all-time high in the next 2 years and a year, 3 years, whatever. I don't think it's going to go that way again. I think the next big dip after we go parabolic is when the U.S. is going to push the button and say, and destroy. Like, nah, we about the price manipulation is going to get so cold. Oh man, it's like anyone who's I think anyone who stays in that you might be stuck. Again, things can change, but that's how I'm reading this right now. It's like Linux is open source and everyone contributes, but corporate would not use it unless you had support. That is why Red Hat Linux was created. That's true. S1 Dubs, what's going on, S1? Hey, S1, I need to know, man, who you riding with? I know you up in Toronto. Hold on. No, I'm messing with you. It's getting close to the time that Bitcoin moves to the medium of exchange phase. Once goods are priced in sats, the government has no jurisdiction. So again, I'm with you on that. And I'm stalling out this story now for 25 minutes because I'm about to go on a super rant. But here we go. Last couple of comments. I just don't think it's going to happen now because of the ETFs. Like I said, they're about to manipulate the market. Jake said ETH ain't flipping Bitcoin. It's going to crumble before it gets that big. They're going to show their centralization and can't help it. So I agree with you. I don't think they're going to fully flip it. I think they will take a part of the market share. We're about to discuss it. And it's not going to be ETH though. That's what I'm saying. We're concentrating on ETH. We're right now concentrated on the 1 day government decision or the 1 hour or the 2024 government decision, the year 2024. I'm telling you to look at the year 2030 right now. In the year 2030, there will not just be Bitcoin ETF and Ethereum ETF. They're going to be at least 7 years? Give me 100 of them things at least. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, let me rule it in 6 years. It's going to be at least 6 of them. It'll be at least 6 to 10 altcoin ETFs in 6 or 7 years. It won't just be Bitcoin. So the same way you've seen Bitcoin get diluted already because you have a million, billions or millions or whatever of different coins and tokens out there, the same way you've seen the market as a whole get diluted, you're going to see Bitcoin get diluted the same way because there will always be a new fun ETF and coin you can make your money on rather than sitting still, and Bitcoin will be the narrative. I'm wearing this BTC for a reason day, people, okay? I just got to, I'm being devil's advocate, though. I always tell people I'm as objective as possible. When I'm not objective, I make it clear that, hey, yeah, I'm taking it personal, some nepotism going on. I don't care. But usually I try to be super objective and I tell people, did I say, what did I say? Democracy, it's good. A republic, yeah, oh, I get what you're saying. True. You guys are crazy. All right, let me go ahead and get started. I installed y'all enough. Spot Ether's ETF is here. It's happening. Spot Ether ETFs receive official approval from the SEC. Now, I'm sure this article is going to cover it, but essentially, kind of like we just talked about with the FIT 21 bill, it's here, but it's not really here. So you had to have 2 applications completed to not list, but to actually start trading the Ethereum ETF. Both of those applications. Why is the screen looking like that? That's weird. Why are you doing this weird stuff? He's doing regular stuff first. Not being weird. Well, right now they've only signed over. Right now, only one of those like licenses or whatever forms they need to fill out has been completed and done, and everybody's agreed on, and that has allowed them to list it everywhere and essentially said, yeah, we're going to do this informally. Same as, like I said, same as FIT 21. This is an informal signal to all the wealth managers, asset companies, and the overall market that, yes, we're going to allow this to happen. Now they have to fill out, I believe, it's like the S1 forms or something, or finish those. And they're having some back and forth with the SEC as far as some of the things, the literature they want in there and not want in there. But once those are complete, then they'll actually be available for trading. Now they're saying that's probably going to take another 2 to 3 weeks. I know we have Memorial Day coming. Is that this weekend? All right, so that's not a big deal. That's this weekend, I believe. So that's one holiday, but I think they won't work Monday. So next week's going to be a short week. So I really wouldn't even count that really. The following week though, so that gives about 2, 3, probably in a full month, at most 6 weeks. But I think that would be a crazy long wait because everyone wants to capitalize off the news. So let's say 2 to 3 weeks or whatever. Once they pass and the trading begins is when we'll start seeing price action. Now, we might see a slow build up until then, but I wouldn't be surprised to see any type of sideways movement or retracement either, only because people forget to look for the next best thing type of deal. But, you know, as that week comes up when they're like, all right, these S1 forms have been approved, we're about to officially start trading XYZ, then I believe we'll start seeing that price movement increase and its dominance increase as well. Because you got to understand, people, what is that, 3,800 right now? If Ethereum in the next 2 months goes to 57, 63, it's not going to flip it. It's about to take some market. Like, it's going to take the market share. It's going to take some. That is until the next ETF comes. All right, let's get back to this article though. See what they said. Spot Ether ETFs. The US SEC gave the green light to several spot Ether ETFs after speculation that the regulator was considering treating ETH as a security. I mean, why do we even call them the US SEC? Like, I feel like we should call them the US BlackRock and Fidelity. That makes more sense to me as an actual name. Let's call it, this is the United States Securities, BlackRock, and Fidelity Commission. What are we doing here? In a second landmark decision this year. That's right. In a second time of getting your butts handed to you by a private company in the name of BlackRock, the United States SEC has given the regulatory green light to spot Ether exchange traded funds, ETFs, in the United States. And in May 20, y'all think we make mistakes. Who is Enna? And who wrote this article? I'm about to get, come on, Turner. In a May 23rd. And so just now we got to have some fun. This is not King with his slang and not being able to speak proper. All right. No. This is me reading exactly what it says. In a May 23rd filing, the SEC approved the 19B4 filings from Van Eck, BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale, Franklin Templeton, ARK 21 Shares, Invesco Galaxy, and Bitwise. Same old same. And if we're being honest, in about 6 months to a year, we'll really only be looking at Van Eck, BlackRock, Fidelity, possibly Grayscale, and Franklin Templeton will be in there. ARK, I believe, will be in there, but not at the level they want to, which will eventually make them, I believe, consolidate or get out. Maybe they'll keep the mom and pop shop going, but who knows? Invesco Galaxy and Bitwise, I think the same. Just why? Like BlackRock, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton. And shout out to Franklin Templeton. Hey, I made some money with them in the military. You know, they had my portfolio for a little bit. So once again, are you the average person going over to Bitwise or going to Franklin Templeton? I think some of these other ones will consolidate. And then in a couple of years, if that long, more rules will be made to add barriers to entry. So there's even less people available to do ETFs. Another 20 years, you only have like 3 exchanges, clearinghouses, or banks doing ETFs, or the lot of banks, essentially. Approving the rule changes, allowing spot Ether ETFs to be listed and traded on their respective exchanges. The landmark decision came despite speculation that the securities regulator has been investigating whether to label Ether as a security. So I guess this is official, and he could have saved us all a lot of time. He would just answer, was it the Congress or whatever, the Senate who was talking to him, when they asked him specifically what it was, and he couldn't answer that, he being Gary Gensler, if Ethereum was a security. So while the 19B4s have been approved, ETF issuers still need the SEC to sign off on the respective S1 registration statements for the spot Ether ETFs to officially begin trading. Industry analysis say this could take, that's me then. The industry analysis say this could take days, weeks, or months. I don't think it's going to take months. Nah, these companies want this. If it does take months, then that's something coming from the government side. That's the government stalling it out if it takes months, not the companies. The companies want this done ASAP. It's Gary Gensler and the like who don't want this done ASAP, who's standing up for the bank still. But the government wants this done ASAP. So I'm thinking weeks, not months. Let's see. The SEC reportedly instructed applicants to accelerate their 19B4 filings on May 20th. The removal of staking is the most notable amendment seen across several filings. That is what I was trying to remember a word for something I'm going to talk about here in a second. I actually had to write myself a note because before the show started, I was like, I had to roll through my memory of some of the things we've had in this market, and staking was one of the ones I forgot. So I'm gonna bring this up in a second. Let's see. I think that's really the most. Yep. This SEC approval came after a day after the United States House of Reps members voted in favor of legislation many believe will provide more regulatory clarity to the crypto industry. The Financial Innovation Tech for the 21st Century Act, of course, FIT 21, which will clarify the roles of the SEC and the CFTC. But again, it needs to be passed by Senate and signed into law. So, all right, Ether ETFs are here. We talked about it so far. This is what I want to get to next. Well, I guess we got to cover this. This actually is the next one. But spot Ether ETFs. Am I sharing this? Nope. Hold on. Spot Ether ETFs approved, but Gary Gensler didn't vote for them. Here's why. Unlike spot Bitcoin ETFs, which were approved via voting by a 5-member committee, including SEC Chief Gary Gensler, spot Ether ETFs were approved by the Trading and Markets Division of the SEC. That is very interesting. The government said, look, Gary, there's two ways we can do this, the easy way or the real easy way. The United States SEC approved spot Ether exchange traded funds on May 23rd. Approval process, although differs slightly from the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs in January. Unlike the spot Bitcoin ETFs approved via voting by a 5-member committee, including SEC Chair Gary Gensler, spot Ether ETFs were approved by the Trading and Markets Division of the SEC. Now, if you all don't see anything wrong with that, you are absolutely insane. This says it all. Hold on. I got to figure out how to stop the sharing. There we go. No, that's not the right one. How to go back big. They messing up my screens. All these different things are messing up my screens. The fix is in. The fix is in. Like, the fix is in. Bitcoin ETF, you remember, they said Bitcoin not security, commodity, hard to name what it was, blah, blah, blah. Spot Bitcoin ETFs passed quickly, quietly. BlackRock laid the smack down, pun intended. Then you get to Ethereum ETFs. And again, I'm thinking Gary Gensler is now the hero we didn't know we needed. And he's like, whoa. Uncle Sam, if we do Ethereum ETFs, like, we'll have to do an entire market of ETFs. And Uncle Sam was like, we know. And Gary's like, no, like, are you out of your mind? Like, this is going to get crazy. And Uncle Sam's like, yeah, we know, but you don't seem like you know. And here we are today, right? Like, Uncle Sam is excited about this. Gary is not. So Uncle Sam essentially said, fine, Gary, how about you don't vote on this one? Or maybe he recused himself. But something had to happen for it to change in such a way, in such a short period of time. You remember, they just voted on this 2 months ago. I would personally think he recused himself, because if you remember, he can't even answer, or he chose not to answer if it were a security or a commodity. So to me, this might be Gary Gensler protecting his neck. Oh, it's because I got the chat on. That's probably why. I already know. Let me see. Okay, I got a chat on. That's what it is. All right. I'm learning this new thing. I got it. It's always something new. The SEC approved those filings we already talked about. The official filing read, for the commission by the Division of Trading and Markets pursuant to delegate authority. Let's see. Yeah, I'm wondering why. Yeah, while many in the crypto community were curious about the difference in approval process for the two crypto ETFs, Bloomberg ETF analysis James Seifer said was normal. Oh, really? He said things are typically done in the same way for many approvals, and if the SEC required an official vote for every decision or every document, it'd be insane. It would have been nice to see where the political lines were drawn. Wow. Was that the answer he just gave us? Who said this is Bloomberg ETF analysis? So, James, you're on the payroll. Hey, James Seifert. Isn't Seifert, that was a guy off of Ballers. I know you, Seifert. He was the GM, I think. No, seriously. He's in on the fix, apparently. For you to say that, hey, they can't vote on every little issue. These things happen all the time. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say more than less likely Gary Gensler recused himself, which if he did, hero we didn't know we needed. He said, I'm not going to. Oh, it's two reasons. It just came to me. It's two reasons why he recused himself. First of all, it's because, he don't want to be in the mess of what's going to happen next when we get a Solana ETF and an XRP ETF and a Dogecoin ETF and a Yo Mama Floki Eno Coin ETF and that ETF and those ETFs. He doesn't want to be there when that happens, or he didn't want to sign off on it. And then the second thing is, I forgot. People, if you're an athlete and the mafia essentially said you got to throw this game, some athletes just wouldn't play. Who does Gary work for? Who's he been representing? The Wall Street bankers. He's there. Those are his constituents, bankers. So I get it. This pisses them off. You didn't hear Bank of America in this, the Central Bank or whatever, like a Wells Fargo, Chase. You didn't hear those names. You heard BlackRock, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton. Ooh, slaps in those banks' faces. And who was representing those banks? Gary Gensler. So he said, I ain't voting on this and losing my back end that I always get from old Jamie the Dino Diamond. No, I ain't voting on nothing. Y'all can handle this. I'm gonna be gone getting coffee, and whatever happened. Honestly, I don't even think the division that voted on it knew they were going to vote on it. If you were paying attention yesterday, this didn't come out till late. I was on this all day yesterday trying to figure out what the decision was going to be, so I can make some market shake. And it came out late at the close of business, beyond the close of business. So That tells me like it might have been the Spider-Man point. Everybody pointing at each other. Gary pointing at his office. They pointing back like, wait, I thought you were going to do it. He like, no, y'all got it. They like what? Let me send some emails. We didn't know he was voting on this today, Gary. You vote on things this big. So yeah, this was him reclusing himself, I think, in order not to piss off those bankers and not to again be on the actual be recorded as a person who let the floodgates open. So you can see here people are talking on X back and forth, essentially having the same conversations. And now to what is the most important thing of the day. I saw the headline of this article, and this is how I felt yesterday and today waking up. Ether ETFs will destroy ethos of crypto, says DeFi exec. I'm telling you, people, I have not read this article. I only saw the headline, but I felt the same way. So before I dive into the article, I'm just going to tell you my few cents and why and what I think is going to happen next. First and foremost, as I said, excuse me. First and foremost, as I said, the fix is in, and we all know what happens when the fix is in. It's very simple.
And you can't stop the rain. You can't stop the rain when it starts to pour.
You can't stop the rain. People, we all know here at the TGOC, you cannot stop the rain when it starts to pour. And it's about to start pouring once this Ether ETF gets pushed through, because next up is going to be another ETF. I don't know which one, but there will be another one. And guess what? It might not even be another one. They might start introducing ETFs the same way they just allowed the amount of companies to do it. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the next one is one, but it also wouldn't surprise me if the next one was a batch of 4 to 6, where they say, all right, fine, we cannot play favorites for projects. Hold on. Where they say we can't play favorites for projects. They're going to say, all right, in order to be fair, we let Ethereum slide through. Cardano saying they're a competitor. Solana saying they're a competitor. Ripple saying they're a competitor. Whoever else, Doge, meme coin, XYZ, we have to let that batch in together. Like literally, as if I was Solana right now, or Cardano, how you gonna let Ethereum in and not let me in? Nah, I want in the party too. Now, here's the problem, which is why I think next year is going to go parabolic. And then once we get this next dip, it's going to stay dip. As I said earlier, they're going to dilute and then destroy. First of all, I want to go over what we had that didn't work. 2016, when I entered the market, swapping had just started, and that was cross-atomic swaps. 2016, early 2017, essentially, hey, I can take my Ethereum and make it Bitcoin. I can take my Bitcoin and make it whatever coin. I can take my Ethereum and turn it into what else is around, Ripple, whatever, on my phone, on my laptop. You used to have to go peer-to-peer through an exchange or to the project to do it. It wasn't an easily a ready way to do it. So first we had swaps. 2017 was the year of ICOs, right? 2018 was STOs, right? You remember that securities? SEC failed on that one. What happened to STOs? Everybody said we were going to have STOs. 2018, we started getting into the DeFi space. 2019, we started getting airdrops. 2020, staking. 21, NFTs. 22, meme coins. 23, what was last year? I don't know. FTX dying. I forgot. Lending and all that other stuff. But 2024 and 2025, this year is halfway over. Have you all not realized what the theme is? It's ETFs, multiple. This year and next year, get as many through as we can. Why? Because now the American market will not be buying crypto. It makes no sense for them to buy crypto when they talk to their bankers, when they talk to the financial advisors, and when they talk to government enforcement agencies, because they're all going to say, why? Like, we're not even going to say it. They're going to first try to tax it, and like which they're already doing, right? 30% or whatever. And people will say, well, that's crazy. Well, then come over here where a smaller tax rate, a lesser tax rate is safer. It's regulated. If you lose anything, it can't be stolen. The government will give your money back. And all you have to do is do this through an ETF. You're now officially exposed to this asset. So, of course, next year is going to go parabolic, right? We're all going to make, whoever's in whatever, you're going to make a ton of money, right? Like I said, back one-to-one. Bitcoin, Ether, so on. They are going to dilute it. Like it's already happened in history with gold. You're crazy if you don't think it's going to happen with this. It makes perfect sense. I keep saying this with Bitcoin. It makes perfect sense to do with everything else. They will not be backing every asset one-to-one. There will be a company who tries to do the dirty play and claim they have everything back one-to-one, but the reality is going to be things are back 100,000 to one. So for 100,000 or whatever ETF is going to be one underlying asset instead of 100,000 to 100,000. That will be the time the market becomes diluted. So when we dip and this begins to happen, when we have a normal retracement or normal dip or whatever, we won't recover the same way. Because if I were a person at BlackRock and I wanted to destroy the crypto market and just make more cash and keep the American government happy and keep doing what we've been doing for hundreds of years, then I would sell this Ethereum and Bitcoin ETF and every other ETF as is, right? Right now, I would sell it as is, ETF one-to-one, one-to-one, one-to-one. The moment we can get a crazy dip, oh, that's when we switch. Now it ain't one-to-one. Now we just did something to the law, regulation, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's 1-to-3, or excuse me, it's 3-to-1. A few more years go by. All right, maybe it's 100-to-1. A few more years, 50,000 to 1, 100,000 to 1. So now you've officially diluted the different markets. You've seen this done with gold already. Like literally, it stays around the same price points. But this 2 to 3%, the Americans love, right? What happened when it was 20 to 30 to hundreds of percents, as we're seeing in crypto now? So then they're going to dilute it. Once it's diluted enough, and again, I'm looking 20, 30 years maybe, then it's time to destroy it. Why don't we even we got the ETFs going, we got our own new markets going by this time. I mean, yeah, it's just another investment thing, but it's nothing big anymore, right? Maybe the new ETFs that come out will be, but the old ones, we're going to keep this at a nice 2 to 3, 5% a year, 20% or whatever, something constant and linear where we can monitor it. No one gets super rich, but you still make money and you're in a safer market. Like that will be the destruction of it. And any type of competition, as it starts to heat up and warm up, as you get more Ethereum ETFs, Solana ETFs, Ripple ETFs, as you get all these different ETFs, you better believe the laws and enforcement around cryptocurrency, the market itself will change. Traders, even miners, and everyone in between who's doing anything that's like hands-on in this market as far as get into that crypto, get into that Bitcoin, you're going to become a competitor with BlackRock, essentially. You're going to become a competitor of Franklin Templeton and what they're trying to do with these ETFs and how, because it's not just about making money, it's about controlling the entire market. That was what the attempt with STOs were, right? Like we want to have control of this market as well, not just make the money off it as a government. So this is what I mean by the fixes in. It's going to happen. I think we will push out more ETFs. It is working. It keeps people interested, but they definitely will dilute the market. As this market gets diluted, a few things are going to happen. Ethereum, and not even before it gets diluted, as more ETFs happen, Ethereum initially will start to take Bitcoin dominance. I don't think it's going to flip it because like Jake said, long story short, Ethereum has too many issues to flip Bitcoin. But as a whole, I think as a whole, the market might flip it on on ETFs. I can see Bitcoin dominance being at like a 30% type of deal, a 40-something percent, and combine the rest of the market goes something higher, especially with the ETF. So I do unfortunately see that happen. Now, the good thing is Bitcoin as a technology still works. So I think that value will still lie there. But I think market value in general, because remember, this whole thing is just, if the government can knock some chips off a Bitcoin block, then they're happy, okay? Whatever. They know maybe they can't kill it now. But as long as we can make this like gold is right now, the average person isn't out there hoarding gold and buying gold or whatever, right? So they're just like that. As long as we can kind of dilute and then destroy this whole narrative of this crypto space, then we're good to go. This is how you do it. This is the monster on Jekyll Island. It's happening right in front of us. It is an exciting time, but again, I think it's going to be a crazy time as well in the next couple of years because people who are out there preaching these gospels and talking this and even trading or whatever, they're going to have laws popping up left and right. It was like, oh, well, you didn't have this license to swap into this crypto. You know, Ethereum we're using that for ETFs. This is like, you can't just trade in and out and do what you want, but this is a regulated market. Like they're going to start putting cuffs on everything, I think. And they're going to be even more unfriendly as we've already seen. And after a couple of people go to jail over some nonsense and everyone sees the signal, capitulation for the market to the government will happen. The Ether ETF approval in the U.S. has sparked investor incitement and a decentralization debate. It says here, while the community celebrates the approval of spot Ether ETFs in the United States, one industry executive has criticized the centralized nature of these products. The emergence of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ether has revolutionized finance and removed the need for intermediaries allowing for the transfer of funds without relying on a central authority. On the other hand, with the introduction of ETFs, cryptocurrencies are at risk of becoming less centralized, according to Avant-Garde Finance. I might have said that wrong too. Finance founder Mona El Iza. That's funny. Basically, yeah, that's what. Again, I didn't even read this article. That's what I'm saying. That's, I guess, a better way to put it. Less centralized. I think she said that backwards. I would almost say more centralized once the ETFs have them, but I get what she's trying to say, or they're trying to write. ETF issuers are placing outdated technology back into crypto products and undermining its process just to stay relevant. I agree. That is exactly what's happening. And they're going to do it. It's happening right now. So it's not like, you cannot stop the rain. She noted that the Ether ETF sparks interest from traditional finance because the ETF structure and regulations are familiar territory, and it speaks the language of conventional finance. However, accessing Ethereum through an ETF misses the core benefits of Ethereum's decentralized and disintermediated design. I agree, but essentially the ETFs are speculative gambles on it. I mean, if you want to be real, they're talking about this market's a gamble. You gambling on the gamble. According to the executive, the newly approved product will see some adoption, but investors are likely to eventually prefer self-custody over holding ETFs as it offers more benefits, she said. I would say no to that, unfortunately, because right now people still don't know about crypto. And last but not least, before I put this link into a link to call in to the chat, Bitcoin dominance risk breaking 18-month uptrend on Ether ETF launch. I mean, I'm just going to look at the headline. I think we already know this is about. I've talked about it already. But yes, these Ether ETFs may spark a new alt season. I don't think it's going to be Ether ETFs alone. I think it's going to be the thought of multiple ETFs that will spark an altcoin season like we have never seen. I mean, it's going to be one of these things. People, if you got $300 to $500 and you don't make no money, and you don't make money off this next market, it will be your fault. It's like you shouldn't be able to miss. Park it somewhere and just chill. So that's what people are hoping. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and throw this link in the chat. Feel free to call in. I would love to hear an assortment of people's thoughts and views on the Fit 21 bill, Bitcoin dominance. Is it going to flip or not? As well as Ethereum ETFs and other ETFs possibly coming down the pike. If you have an opinion on it, feel free to call in today. I mean, woo, this is an FBF for real. Holy smoke. This is a bang kill shot. This is an FBF. Okay. For those who are listening, I just shot my shirt. I shot the BTC. I'm wearing a Bitcoin shirt. I forgot. I didn't say that earlier too. I'm wearing a BTC shirt for those who are listening on the podcast this morning. And I had to put my fingers to the B head because this is like, they're trying to do it, people. They're trying. While I'm waiting to see if anybody calls in before we start the next article, let me look at some of these comments and see what you all have as well. All right. Kanaz said ETFs equals big alt season. Here it comes. I agree. I definitely agree. Local TX said, where do I park it? Short term for me, I just parked some for sure. I didn't, but if I were to do it, I would probably go to Ethereum right now. Short term. And if you want to get really crazy, I was going to think about this. I'm glad I could bring this up for the Warriors out here. Here we go. If you want to get really crazy and try to, make some money, here are my thoughts. The Bitcoin ETFs actually did a lot better than I thought because a lot of people don't like it. They hate because they don't understand. Like, that's real. Like, just really haven't read the white paper. They do not understand. They just hate it. And they think things like Ethereum are better and blah, blah, blah. So I expect, especially at the price point, that's the psychological price point with it and everything, I expect Ethereum ETFs to have a strong start. All right. Because you got to remember, this isn't like people just calling BlackRock like, hey, I heard you're going to do Ethereum ETFs. Like a commercial came out already. Can I get into that? That's not the way it's going to work. They're going to take their assets under management, the police fund, the firefighters fund of New York type of deal, talk to those presidents and those people who have been in charge of those funds. They're going to say, hey, are you cool with us diverting? And that's if they even have to. They have some funds or people's money who are like, who I was with Franklin Templeton. I was like, don't call me. I'm deployed. I'm in the military. I don't have time to talk about this. Go aggressive. I was like, they was like, are you sure? I'm like, super sure. Go aggressive. They're like, you might lose some money. I'll party, bro. I lose money. Go aggressive, and whatever we get, we get. And that's what we did with that. So there definitely will be some funds managers and some pots of money who are going to be like that to begin with, where they don't even need to ask permission. They can just say, hey, we got 50 million right now to pump this Ether ETF. But they'll also ask some of these funds, these people's capital they have, and they'll say, yeah, 5% here, 10% or whatever. But the point is, it won't be piecemeal. There won't be mom and pops providing $10,000 ETFs here. No, they're going to be saying, today, we're going to be doing a $20 million Ethereum ETF buy, not only because we can do it and we want to for this ETF, but because we're also trying to pump the narrative of crypto ETFs because it's the next hustle on Wall Street, essentially. I don't even know if this is considered Wall Street. Wall Street adjacent. This is the next hustle on it. So, yeah, for the short term, you park it in Ethereum. And if you want to get really crazy right now, which is what I'm thinking of looking into this weekend, maybe I'll do it on a Discord or whatever. And that is actually, or I'll do a YouTube video. I'll probably put in YouTube if I were to do it this weekend. Let me think about it. But I do want to margin trade. Right now is the best time to margin trade, people. For those who missed the Bitcoin margin trading, which I chose not to intentionally because I was like, this is new. Like, you know, I do enough DJ stuff. I sat on the sidelines. But for this one, the price point is at $3,800, people. Like, if you don't go 5x, 3x leverage right now for the next 3 weeks, and like, what are you talking about? Yeah, this is the time where you have, again, $300 to $500 in another 3 or 4 weeks. That could literally be $3,000 to $4,000 if you do it the right way. Now, the only dangerous part is between now and then, will the exchanges try to play their dirty games, which they like to play, right? Especially with the news articles. They can blame it on the news articles. If it comes out, oh, you know, the date of trading has been delayed because of this, you know, hey, all of a sudden you get liquidated that day, right? All of a sudden the price of Ethereum gets a strong dip and you see it coming, right? And they go, oh, it's the news. Like, what do you mean? It wasn't the exchange on this one. Like, yeah, right. I got it. But that's the only thing I'm kind of worried about is like long term. So with that being said, I wouldn't say go crazy leverage on it if you're thinking about it. Something safe. That way you have room not to get liquidated. Make sure you have your stop losses and all that good stuff in there. But now is definitely a time to take a leverage play on Ethereum. Are you kidding me? Like, it's something's coming. Something coming out of it. It don't got to go crazy, but it's going to get a nice little pump. And if you take some leverage out with it, if you margin trade with it, oh man, it's gonna be good. But then after that, where do you park it? After that, it will depend on how aggressive Ethereum does. But if it's only like mid, bro, I'm still sober. If it's only mid, then I would say the next ETF. Again, we're talking ETFs. We're in the season of it. More are coming. And if you think the Ether ETF made people money, what do you think a Solana ETF would do? What was it, $180? Ooh. People talking about 200. I mean, I'm talking 1,000, 1,200, easy. What? A Solana ETF? 1,200 easy. And if you leverage trade that up, people get out of here. Like I said, next year I might be gone. Honestly, I don't got time for the government BS and none of this other stuff. And it's just like, it's a lot's going to happen. Uncle Reno knows. It says, should we turn on a new money printing machine? Said the Feds never. ETF is a control mechanism. It is. They got us. So ETF becomes a new FTX play slowly and suddenly. No, I think it's the STO play. Again, the securities token thing they were trying to do in 2017, 2018 was to take control and kind of kill the whole market. You remember people were doing like $200 million ICOs. Like, it was insane. Like a $30 million ICO is normal. So, yeah, I don't think it's the new FTX play, like in a sense of them scamming, yes, but it won't be as scammy, like a short term. No, they want this to go, again, I think they want this to go, this is easily go next 10, 15 years and feed the government. Are you kidding me? This could feed the government for the next 10 or 15 years. So I definitely as well. Yes, right. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin, said S1 Dubs. Let's see what else we have. When the Ethereum ETF hits the market, which Ethereum will pump? Oh, that's a good point. Ethereum Classic, Lido, Wrapped Ethereum, or all of them. So I think Wrapped Ethereum is just what you have and what you put in it. So that's kind of the same as Ethereum for the most part. Ethereum's definitely going to pump. Ethereum Classic will have you know what? I was going to say small, but what do we consider small? Because they're definitely going to do 20 to 40%. They'll pump as well. Ethereum Classic almost always pumps when Ethereum pumps because it's the real Ethereum for some people. But on the flip side, it might not go as crazy. It might be mid only because this is a Ether ETF, not Ethereum Classic ETF. So actually, I kind of have to correct that, but it'll still get 20 to 30, 40%, I think, off just the hype. Lido, I don't know so much about Lido. I get everybody's just like, because of the ecosystem, it should. But again, this is ETF specific once again. So I don't know about Lido as much. Like, I wouldn't use that as an investment over Ethereum itself. S1 said they can only dilute with respect to the USD price. That's why Bitcoin needs to start moving into the medium exchange phase. I agree with you for sure. The Ethereum blockchain is right for the feds because them and their cronies can 51% it is much easier. All the shit coins and layer twos on Ethereum get swept up in their strategy. Exactly. Would you say that the Bitcoin ETF was a catalyst for all these ETFs? Yes, I do. That's why I think it got passed away. You remember they put Gary Gensler's job on the line. The government was called him in for questioning, like a school kid in the principal's office. Like, what are you doing down there? Like, so yes, it was literally just to usher in a season of ETFs, I think. What else do we have? What if the ETF products offer a 15 to 30 year staking product and effectively tokenize traditional mortgage models? Boom. See, people, we're coming up with this stuff on a Friday morning for me and for you all. What, 7 a.m., 10 a.m., we're coming over this. So once again, what do you think 300 to 400 to 500 people in the government who are smart scammers and gang, what do you think they're doing with time and more brains in the same room? Like, what? You can't stop the rain. The next phase is more ETFs and destroying any YouTuber, any trader, miner, anyone who wants to stop the rain. You up out of here ASAP. It's not going to go like that. I'm telling you now. So buckle up. The monster is here. It is official. Let's see. Decentralization doesn't matter to the government. Once you sign articles of incorporation, you are bound by hundreds of thousands of laws, regulation, statutes. Ethereum is owned by a corporation. Bitcoin is not. That is true. That is true. That is true. Solana will make a press for ETF backed by VC money big time. Exactly. Listen, if I'm a Solana, if I'm PR at Solana right now, if I'm the PR director of Solana, we're getting an ETF. It's not even a maybe. I'm saying that's the PR director, not even talking to the legal team, not talking to nobody, not talking to strategic guys and gals, none of that. Let me do my job as PR. We about to get this. I'm gonna get this ETF through public consensus. Like, what? You cannot just give Ethereum one and not give us one. No, I'm not. That's not going like that. Well, I'm kicking shit. Okay. No, seriously. Yeah, more are coming. And this is what they really want. Because when we finally get to the number 324th coin on coin market cap that's getting an ETF, and there's just so many you can't keep up with it. Now it's time to play a real dirty game. Now it's time to prep our country for a recession and depression. What happened in 2007 and 8 with the housing crisis? With this, was it subprime mortgages, and they were giving them false grades, essentially saying that yes, this person can pay back a loan. They're an A++, and then you're like, yo, they got bad credit and they ain't worked in 15 years, man. What are you talking about? This is a F. They can't pay anything back. And you're like, oopsie, same thing is going to go down here. We're going to have 200, 150 different ETFs of crypto that are going to be tough to start to keep up with. And then it's going to be like, all right, now which one of the ones we can really manipulate? Because you don't have to do it all the time. You only need to do this like once every, 6 months, maybe once a year, every year and a half. Most of the scammers in our space only do new scams once every 2 to 3 years, if you notice. So let's say once every 2 to 3 years, the capital runs out. But that is the game plan here. That is the goal. I don't as of on the horizon, unless technology changes. And when I say technology, unless Bitcoin adds a new super feature that we really needed, then this is going to get crazy. So we'll see. The Wolf of Backstreet. This is the next movie about the crypto ETFs. Hilarious. We don't have that many cryptos out there. What harm could come from ETFs of all of them? I agree. That's what I'm talking about. Memories of Mike. It ain't that many cryptos. Let's just do a bunch of ETFs and see what happens. The reverse Uno card of you will live long enough to become the villain. Oh my goodness. Wall Street, some DJs, said Jake. The government ready to change that tax code. Everything coming except very tasty of XRP. Oh man, shots fired. Jake is a fool. Hey, Jake said, hey, everybody who the government fought, they said we ain't messing with y'all no more. Hey, make sure I told you it might happen today, people. I was ready. Make sure you smash that like and share. Let me get a moment. Yeah, soundboard will be back Monday, so I can play some music for you all and get my little quick tea break. I'm over here sipping some tea with my honey and lemon in it. W2 employment coin. That's what they want for you. Hilarious. What's your faith level in the crypto community at large to flip the US's BS or bigger guns always rule the roost? So Satoshi ain't gonna happen, man. Ain't enough fighters in this community. We've already saw it. I mean, the fact that like we did not to this where we're at right now to this point, we haven't needed regulations to operate by and large. We needed more self-regulation. Let me be clear on that. We haven't needed as much government regulation. We needed more self-regulation, not as much government regulation, but the fact that people are coming to this space, they are brand new, um, not reading white papers, not trying to educate themselves. They not that they were, they're still doing it. People are coming to this space and saying, I'll be rich in a month. I'll be rich in 2 weeks. Or even worse. I just saw a guy I actually know, and I hope he's watching this because this is for you. Every time the price pump or something happens, like he pops up once every year and a half. Like, hey guys, I do crypto too. What's going on? I got this new project we launched. Da, da, da. And I'm just like, I almost want to be like, bro, you're a scammer, dog. I don't want to say it like that, but it's like, are you scamming? Because it's you never talk about Bitcoin and crypto until it's something big happening. Like you don't know what you're talking about. You are going to lead the sheep to slaughter. But because it's a person who's probably just trying to make a buck, so what? It's them, right? Who cares? They destroy the environment in the world while they're doing it. So I hope that explains my faith level in the crypto community. The fact that people follow them. How large are some of the followings on YouTube that talk crazy this? I saw another guy's video the other day. I was like, I see why he getting views. Everything is titled like, yeah, that's I kind of changed the title today, the Moon Spot Ether ETFs. I'm gonna start that's what I'm gonna start doing. It's like 3 of them. I'm gonna start copying all their titles. They're absolutely ridiculous. But I get it. I get it. You got to make it ridiculous. So no, I don't have faith in the community at large. They're going to go with what the US is saying as well. And for the people who just want easy money, it is an easy money play. Like, let's not get it twisted. For the people who invest in the ETFs, yeah, they're going to make some money in the short term for sure. And then I think it'll probably like just slow out and go more to 2 to 5% a year, or more to 2 to 5% quarterly, if not yearly, possibly. They still probably get 15, 20, but it'll get more traditional for sure. So my faith level isn't high, which is why I said next year I might be like, I'm not gonna be the one fighting. What? No, hell no. That's how you get jumped. Local TX said them smart contracts require a lot of reviewing, and no one does that. You can have triggers in there to steal the funds from under people's noses. When this happens, a lot of people will be wary. You're right as well. We didn't even look at that. What if they do a ETF for a scam project, essentially? Holy smokes. Woo wee. Man, now that would be the next FTX. Whoever said that, you're actually right. That would be the next FTX. Wow. That would be crazy. If they do a scam project ETF by mistake, what? New movie incoming. Let's see. What else do we have? All right. Let me go ahead and cover some more stories. Again, feel free to call in if you want. But like I said, right now we are in ETF season. Oh man. Wisdom. I don't know about that. No, Zay's been teaching a class at B STEM. I wasn't sure if you put it on Twitter. Zay's been teaching a class at B STEM, I think he said. Let's see. So what I'll do, Memories of Mike, I'm actually going to take the restrictions off of Discord through this cycle right now, so everyone can get in for free. So let me work on that this weekend. I want everybody to get in there for free right now, give back, and later in the year, end of the year or something, we'll re-put it up there. Let's see. Does Grayscale making a STX trust mean they are looking at eventually to create an STX ETF? I mean, why not? Why not? It's on Bitcoin, right? Why not? Yeah. And this is what I mean. Like, listen, if you can think it, we can achieve it. Let's ETF it all. Like, that's like, why not? Is what I think they're gonna go with that. So we'll see. All right. Now let's get on some more regular stories. It was something we just had to talk about. Now I know I probably shouldn't be making light of this, but I clearly have some problems. Okay, we got somebody calling. There we go. I just want you all to remember before I make a couple of jokes. I do have issues too. When I first joined the military, I joined to go become a Navy SEAL. I did not become one, but that's why I joined. So I signed up for Uncle Sam to put that work in. All right. So just when I make these jokes, I got some dark humor sometimes. Bert, what's going on? How you doing, Bert?
Nothing much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing today? Happy Friday.
Oh, I'm good. Happy Friday to you too, man. Yeah, I just had the day off, and I've seen your channel before. I've listened to your channel a couple of times. This is gonna sound bad. I kept up with crypto about 10 years ago. I bought some, I've traded some. I'm kind of out of the loop, and it seems like a lot of it's going fast. I thought it was funny that you brought up the ETFs because with the ETFs, they're gonna manipulate it 4 times a year. If you kept up with the GameStop AMC stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that's how they're gonna end up manipulating the ETF for Ethereum. But I'm kind of like, what's a good place to start at if you haven't kept up with it, but you understand crypto?
Yeah, no problem. You know what? Hey, shout out to you. Thanks for calling in as well. And this is why this is the reason why I do this show is for the people who can't keep up every day or every month or even every year, so that they can come on out the blue like you're doing and be like, all right, where we at right now? Catch me up real quick in 30 seconds. Let me know. So definitely appreciate that. And that's what I like pride myself on being here for. So right now, I would say if you just missed it again, they're doing, the ETFs, like you said, they're going to eventually manipulate the market and all that good stuff, Bitcoin as well. So for the people who are diehard in crypto, like ourselves, myself, I'm looking at the asset. So if I were to jump into the market, I personally would buy Ethereum right now or be in Ethereum right now, because I believe when this ETF comes out, especially at the price point is at, we will see positive price action at least to 4,500, 5,000. And actually, I'm gonna tell you all as a market, the shame part about it is that Ethereum's been doing so much building, and that wasn't the thing to push the price, but the ETFs will be. The reason why I think that price is going to pump is because in order to get the next ETFs, again, if you're BlackRock and Fidelity and a Franklin Templeton and Grayscale, I find it very hard to believe your conversation in your office was, we are just going to do a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, and then we're going to call it a day. We won. The game's over. Nah, I think we're going to do it a Solana ETF, an XRP ETF. They're going to have a ton of them. But in the short term right now, I would say Ethereum's a safe place. Of course, Bitcoin's always a safe place. And then as the year goes on and we see this ETF actually pushes through and they start talking about the next one, that would be a good time to call back in.
Yeah, because I totally agree with you on the Ethereum thing. This isn't an echo chamber thing. Ethereum was at $5,000 in 2021, and it was pushing to 6. And then everybody remembers that run in 2021 where everything shot up and then the bottom fell out. But if you would have, cost average, you'd be doing fine. You'd be going fine going into the future. My other question is, what do you know about Solana and what do you know about Koi? And then he'll go ahead and hang up and
Oh no, you good. So the second one you said Koi?
Solana, because from what I've heard recently is Solana has jumped up in price, but Solana's kind of like Ethereum where you can build other cryptos and other
right,
blockchain
for sure.
technology
Yeah,
for
you're on
other
the right page.
applications. I don't know what makes Solana like the one that's getting like pumped up, not pumped up, but the one that it shot from $20 to $120 in 6 months. Like, what is the reason for that? Like, why is Solana one of the ones you might want to be researching right now?
So long short is an Ethereum competitor. So people are saying, hey, if Ethereum doesn't work, or even if it does work, they're thinking Solana is going to be better. And Solana does have a lot of, I think one of the warriors mentioned in the chat, they got a lot of investors already as well. Like, these institutions and stuff, a lot of people who do not want to see them fail, who have a lot of money, who's ready to put that money in there to prop them not to see them fail. So essentially, whenever something positive happens for Ethereum and people see the Ethereum pump, they're saying, well, Ethereum's pumping, then Solana is going to pump because what they're working on should be better, faster, and they have a better network. They're getting the whole meme coin ecosystem as of late. That's why that price pump has just happened. They just launched a slew of meme coins, as well as games and stuff on Solana blockchain. So between those things, that's why you're seeing the price movement right now. Those it's like new meme coins coming out the last few weeks since for Solana.
Okay, because I'm more of the technology and the real world applications for these. I don't really look at them as like, you know what I'm saying, as currency exchange. The only one that I've seen that works like that is Litecoin. Litecoin, it's rapid. You can exchange that peer to peer. That one, but that one's not getting pumped up like some of the other ones too. But I'm gonna ask you this question, and I'll end up hanging up. Which ones for the application, the technology that you see going forward are like, hey, this project actually has, you know, some legs, and it has some, you know, technology that's going to be used in the future? And thanks, man.
So yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, feel free to hang up and stuff. So essentially, the main thing that they have that's bringing them forward would be things like smart contracts, right? Like the real world applications. Smart contracts can and will work, but they have to scale first. That's the biggest deal. Right now, Ethereum does have a lot of stuff that could be useful and could work, but it costs a lot of money to use it. They're gas fees, right? You want to do Ethereum transaction nowadays, it costs like a transaction costs anywhere from like $50 to $100, $50 to $300 just to do something as simple as an $80 transaction, a $200 transaction. So then it's like, well, it's not even worth the transaction anymore. So same thing when it comes to smart contracts and everything else. Those are considered transactions still. While they're not in a capital form, they're still zeros and ones when it comes to the network. You still have to transact it on the network in order for it to work. So you're talking about a smart contract to actually build one and send it through or whatever. If that's going to cost you $50, and it's like, why would I do this? It makes no sense. So that's the biggest deal right now with a ton of them. I'm just using that as an example, but the ones that are building real world applications such as smart contracts, now the next race is, okay, for example, not saying they all can the same way, but if Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano could all build a smart contract, then it's about who can send it the fastest at the cheapest rate. And right now, Ethereum is very expensive to do that on. So people are using layer twos. I mean, they could get speaking of layer twos, what's the big layer two? Somebody let me know. Does a lot of lending, collateralized loans. I'm looking at it in my head. I see it. I just can't say it. Somebody let me know, but they might get an ETF. I would not be surprised if they get an ETF. I'm about to look at CoinMarketCap right now. You all know what I'm talking about. I'm looking at it in my head. I just can't see the word. I'm looking at CoinMarketCap. Who are we talking about? Polygon Matic. I wouldn't be surprised if Polygon got an ETF eventually, if they really keep building and pushing that narrative for them. So that's all that is. If you all have any additions to that in the comments, let me know as well. So what you're doing right now too, everybody's naming different tokens. This is how it's going to be for the government. Ethereum, as soon as they officially start trading that ETF, you better believe the phone call, because it won't even be the projects. The smart projects are going to put their community on it, right? All you gotta do is a tweet. So as soon as the Ethereum ETF starts trading and that price pumps, it goes up 15, 20% or whatever overnight, the same way we saw Bitcoin do. As soon as Ethereum does that, Solana and everybody else is going to get on Twitter. They're going to say, hey, you want to see a 30% pump on your favorite crypto? Call this number now. Email this, BlackRock now. Email the federal government now. Call the senator now. They are going to give you a game plan to go out there and market for them to ensure they can get what they need done to become an ETF. So again, this is about to get crazy. All right, now back to the story. I appreciate that call. It's a great call. One of the stories I was about to get to. Binance executive, if you remember, I was mentioning my dark humor, okay? Binance executive collapses during Nigeria trial for money laundering. Now, I do hope this is not the executive that got kidnapped. And definitely, I hope this isn't the American one either. Not saying that any of them is good, but if this is just a person who actually money laundered, which I also doubt as well, because we're saying the same thing about everyone. They're saying tax evasion. They probably didn't register something and give Nigeria their money. But my point is, I'm not trying to be funny, but just reading the headline, the story was kind of funny to me. Gambarian, of course, we talked about him a week or so ago, missed a court appearance on tax evasion charges, but attended the money laundering trial on the same day. How you miss one and go to the other one? Tiger and Gambarian, can't pronounce his name, a Binance executive currently detained in Nigeria, collapsed in the federal high court in Abuja during his trial for alleged foreign exchange violations and money laundering offenses brought against him by the Nigerian Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Really quick, was this the guy? This has to be the guy who was kidnapped, I'm thinking, or who's being held there, because as I think about it out loud, I know Nigeria don't got a pool where they can get you like how we do when you in Spain or something. We like, hey, hold them for us. I know Nigeria doesn't have that pool. So this had to be the ones that got kidnapped that went to go see them, said they were going to be safe, and then they kept them because, bro, How y'all get hemmed up Nigeria? Why you go? Come on, you knew it was beef and you went. I think this is a continuance of that story. But according to local media, Mark Modi, Gambarian's legal representative, notified the court on May 22nd that his client had been unwell since the previous trial date and was still experiencing health problems. Gambarian previously, it's funny, I keep saying the name different every time, previously failed to appear in court on the same day on a separate arraignment for tax evasion charges brought by the Nigerian Federal Inland Revenue Service. However, he made it to court for the money laundering charges. During the money laundering court proceedings, the court registrar called the case. Gambian failed to respond and remained seated in the back row. Judge Emeka Nwite, noticing his absence, asked for clarification. In response, Gambarian's defense lawyer assisted him to the dock. However, Gambarian suddenly collapsed and required assistance from his lawyer to be seated in a front row seat. Morty explained that his client had been unwell and that a written application had been submitted to inform the court of his condition. And breaking, people, I know y'all like, damn, Ken, you got some pull. I have the video. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my dark humor right here. I got to give you the headline or the heads up. I have the video. And I'm about to play it of Gambarian passing out in the court. Let's get it. I know some of y'all saw this before too. So if you've seen it before, it's just a funny one. Here it is. Oh, I forgot. I got to push this one.
As to count 2 in that case, felonious assault, a felony of the second degree, it is ordered that the defendant shall serve a term of 2 years in prison on that count. As to count 3
this is what really happened.
That case, the robbery, which is
I know how he passed out. I know what happened.
The court orders that the defendant shall serve a term of 2 years on that count as well.
I know what happened in court. This is what happened in court. That boy started getting reading them charges.
As you can see, he looked upset and confused about the sentence.
Them legs got wobbly. Okay, I know exactly what happened, Gambarian. You ain't got to explain nothing to nobody, brother. I understand. That's that first time in court. I get it. The little stomach get a little queasy. The legs get, what's going on? Hey, listen, in high school, when I scored my first touchdown, I actually didn't even score it. I had like a sweep or something for football. For those who know the sport, ran like 70-something yards. Nobody was even near me. And literally, I was like 5 yards away from the touchdown. My legs just went out on me and I fell out of bounds. I was so excited. I was about to score. I was like, oh, man. It was like I scored plenty of times before. Like I was a standout in middle school. I was a standout. I got MVPs since I was 7 years old. I've always scored. So it's not even like a big deal. But at that moment, I was just like, my first high school touchdown. I was like a freshman type. It was like, oh, my God. And it was like, oh, my God. So I understand, okay? I understand. When you're there you go. Memories of Mike says someone lock their knees. Don't lock your knees and be queasy at the same time. All right. I get it. I understand what happened to that Binance executive. It's so cold in the D. Y'all already know it. Look, for real, people, if you're in this space, I keep saying this, and I haven't even been like, I don't want to tell people business, basically. Like, nor like, you know, people ain't gave me issues. I ain't gonna get them issues. There is illegal and criminal things that have happened in this space on a next level type of deal, okay? I'm not talking about just financial. I'm talking about it's a lot of madness. There's some real gangsters in the space, people, all right? With that being said, some of them are government employees too. They're not just regular Joe Schmoes. So if you are on a project, on a team, working for a company, any of these things, and you already know you have regulatory issues in a foreign country, do not go to that country to talk to them under any auspice of hospitality. We have FaceTime now. We have Zoom now. We have no. We can meet in the metaverse. Let's use this good technology. But to go to your country and then this happens, that is a no-go. All right. What else we have going on today? Last couple of stories. SEC. Oh, I was talking about football, people. All right. Y'all done got me thinking about it now. SEC wins case against YouTuber in Belina for unregistered crypto ICO promo. Once again, today's show, I wanted it to actually be short. I was going to have it like just talking about Fit21 and the ETF. But I kept seeing new stories like this pop up. My eyes were just like, what the well, I didn't even know this was happening. I didn't know he had a case against the SEC. Explains why he went MIA a little bit. But, oh, man, I'm getting too excited. I'm about to lose my oxygen. Let me cough a little bit. My bad. I'm getting a little too excited over here. A little too much. Hey, a little too much dip in my chip, all right? Get that water in me. We good to go. All right. Yeah, I didn't even realize this was going on And I mean, I don't know what to say about this. Let me look at the article first. A U.S. federal judge sided with the SEC, finding that Bellina broke securities laws by participating in a 2018 crypto ICO. Oh, wait, what? For buying? They gotta get them for buying it. What's going on? Or did he launch one? Did he launch one? Let's see. Crypto YouTuber Bellina sold unregistered securities when he bought Sparkster, never heard of that one, honestly, tokens and offered them to United States investors in an investment pool. A Texas federal court judge has ruled. What? No, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm assuming not only did he do this, but he didn't pay the government any taxes. A. B, I'm assuming he did this and something went wrong, which is how the government found out. B, because if not, and everybody was happy and made their money, they wouldn't want to pay no taxes and nobody would have told the government nothing. So for this to be out there, something probably went wrong. And again, I didn't realize this has happened. I haven't really kept up with. Last time I kept up with Bellina is when he was getting hacked and he was just stopped his show. He was, wait, hold on, guys. Something's going on my Google. Oh my God, I think I'm getting hacked. Now that was the last time I saw Bellina. All right, like my man's got claimed to get hacked on a live stream. Who knows if he did or not? We know how this game go. I just talked about it. But listen, that was the last time I saw him. So I didn't even know this was like in the news. But let's dig into it. The court has determined as a matter of law that U.S. security laws are applicable to Bellina's actions and that SPRK tokens qualify as securities. And this is how they're going to play that game with you. Judge David Allen Ezra wrote in the May 22nd order, granting a partial victory to the SEC, which filed a lawsuit in 2022. This is where it can actually get crazy. See, this is where the market can get crazy, people. I didn't know this happened. I haven't read this article. I just saw the headline. This judge just set precedents 2 days ago. What are you talking about when we're doing Ethereum ETFs into the commodity? He just said SPRK was a security. So, you talk. And the SEC approved of, like, they're thanking the judge, or this was a SEC win. So essentially, not even intentionally, maybe, they just have been given credence that, yes, these altcoins are securities. Oh my goodness, this just happened. This is what Reggie Middleton talks about with these companies not actually doing their due diligence and doing like deep dive. This needs to be addressed immediately. You can't, like, a judge can't say, yeah, there's a partial victory over here because these tokens qualify as securities, when it's like, all right, if I'm in or anybody else in the market or a competing market, then well, they all qualify as securities. Then what are we doing? How we just get an ETF and the CFTC got commodities over it? What are we doing? This don't make everybody's trying to get a piece. The court found SPRK was an investment contract under the securities determining the Howey test. Of course, that old test we talked about, where investors pool money into a common enterprise expecting profits due to the efforts of others. Ezra agreed with the SEC that Bellina purposely targeted United States investors and knocked back the influencers' summary judgment bid, claiming the SEC had no sway as the sales happened overseas. Oh, boy, you think because you use the VPN, they ain't going to get that money? Oh, come on now. Come on, big dog. Hey, if it happened overseas, stay overseas, player. You know how this go. All right, you know how this go by now. The SEC did not succeed in his claim that Bellina failed to properly disclose a compensation agreement made with Sparkster CEO Sajid Daya as the court identified factual inconsistencies. Oh, see, look. But we already know how the game go once again. So basically, of course, Bellina and this Sparkster CEO had a backroom deal going on. Nobody else knew about. He ain't gonna get his paper up front, and whatever happened with the project is the security happened with it. All right, so you see, yep, the security laws. I mean, this is a court document. This set precedent on what is security in this space. I'm not sure why we're talking ETFs. This is going to get interesting. The SEC said in his lawsuit that between May and July 2018, Bellina purchased $5 million worth of SPRK, promoted it across multiple social platforms, and made a Telegram group to form an investment pool for the tokens. It added that he didn't tell investors that Sparkster had given him a 30% bonus for the tokens he had purchased. Bellina said the SEC's alleged bonus was a standard volume discount in a private pre-sale deal. That's fair. That's actually fair, so I'll give him that. Sparkster, September 22, 2022, it made a deal with the SEC to destroy its remaining SPRK tokens and remove them from trading platforms without admitting or denying the regulator's claims. The SEC ordered it to pay a $30 million disgorgement and a $4.6 million interest and $500,000 civil penalty. Goodness gracious. And Belina didn't respond to comment. This is crazy. I wonder how much of that, though, like just because he broke the law, I'm not sure what his punishment is. They said that disgorgement was going to yeah, Sparkster is going to have to pay this disgorgement and this interest and civil penalty. So I'm not exactly sure what will be the penalty for Belina, but I mean, the SEC got you in court. You definitely going to have to play ball. So something's going to happen. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But that's crazy. Again, I didn't even know that was happening. But people is surprises in this space daily. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Hyben, you funny when you say this. Hyben17 said, I'm glad I'm watching all the TGOC episodes from the beginning, just in case all videos are lost in the boating accident. Hilarious. Let's see. They love that 4.6 number. Oh, I know. Don't they? What's going on with that? What is that? They always in some fours. That is very weird. It might be something going on behind the doors of how it breaks down. Let's see what else we got going on. Mac, what's going on? Feel free to call in. Everyone wants to control the industry to get their pockets lined. Of course, it's crazy, right? Yes, this is never financial advice, people. That's why I do use profanity and try to be unprofessional. See, said the wrong word. You gonna listen to this guy? That's y'all fault, all right? No, I'm just playing. But seriously, kind of. Between speaking at consensus and becoming somewhat recognized around YouTube makes me worry their eyes may follow me someday. My thing is not like I'm worried their eyes won't follow me. It's not like that. Like, to be clear, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I'm clearly like shadow banned on YouTube. We were one of the first crypto channels, people. It's hard to get reach. It's already, I know why. I'm actually thinking about doing another channel and kind of renaming it, but something similar, just so we can spark it off from a new one they haven't banned, since they're not, like, YouTube isn't going around trying to ban crypto YouTube channels right now, but they used to. So I was actually thinking about starting it over. So yeah, it's not like I'm scared of being seen or anything. I just don't want to, like, it's going to be games to be played if you're going to be pushing certain narratives and keeping I always say pushing certain narratives. There might not be as much money to be made either in a couple years if they do dilute the market and kind of try to destroy it. That's my thoughts too. So it's also like, some of it is getting, as much value as you can when you can. And the flip side is also like staying out of the way. I do a great job of staying out of people's way. Okay. Again, you gotta know when the tide's turning, when things are happening. Sometimes it's good just to sit it out. Like, I've never been one to play cops and robbers. I don't want to be a bad guy. I want to be a good guy. I'm a my guy. So this is kind of that scenario for me. I think the way it's shaping out, it's about to turn into cops and robbers. It's going to turn. Yeah, y'all. Okay. All right. Hey, it was a fun party. The party was fun. The old people coming in, they turn on lights, they changing the music, they added rules. You can't smoke inside no more. Like, I'm cool, bro. I didn't come for that. Like, I'm excited to talk about this stuff. And I don't see myself waking up every day and it being like, oh, I got to talk ETFs and derivatives and that. Like, that's not what I wanted to do. Was talk traditional market stuff. So if the market does get diluted and it does become weaker and marginalized because of the traditional sector, what they're doing to make money off and essentially scale the market, then that I think would dishearten me to the point where I'm just like, I'm over it. Like, and I'm not going to waste my time when this thing's getting manipulated to the point of no return. Now, if I make it that Jim Cramer level, one of these networks say, no, we finally got a mainstream. Like, don't go nowhere. You come over here and you Jim Cramer up for us. Then whatever. I'll wink at you all every time I'm about to say some crazy stuff that makes no sense. That's going to lose people money. But, but as far as just my own time, it'll be like, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Algorand. I actually like this story, so I wanted to talk about this story. Algorand causes a stir with new ad bashing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. I just read the headline, but what I liked about it was that we just saw what rap beef does. Okay. It's good for capital. Like, war is good for money. Everybody knows that you make money in war for the most part. So, with Algorand, the Algorand Foundation's latest ad takes a swipe at the big three. That's hilarious. Crypto network, saying they're too slow, too expensive, or prone to failure. They said, I hate Bitcoin because everybody like it. I hate it because it's fast. I hate it because it's scalable. I hate Ethereum too. I hate Ethereum because people love it. I hate Ethereum because of the corporate investments. I hate it because it's proof of stake. I hate Bitcoin because it's proof of work. If you haven't caught the joke, that's the Kendrick Lamar right there. But the foundation behind Layer 1 blockchain Algorand has attracted mixed feelings over a new ad that takes a big swipe at rival networks, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, suggesting they are not suitable for payments. This is what's crazy. Shout out to Algo, but why add Solana? You just gave them more of a market share than you know by even adding them to the big three. I didn't realize they were a big three. Like, what are you talking about? Solana's a big three? Like, since when? That might be their direct competitor. Maybe that's why. According to this, is BNB. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Wow, it is Solana. They're number 5 right now, huh? Interesting, I would say. All right, so I guess that's the big three. I stand corrected. On May 23rd, the Algorand Foundation released a new advertisement on YouTube titled "When Blockchains Meet the Real World, Only One Delivers." Hilarious. To me, this is some BS too. Algorand, you are not. This was messed up. All right, think of this. Let's think of it this way. Algorand is talking like it's ready to fight. So you say, all right, I need some help then. And then we both get our ass kicked. What are you doing, Algorand? You ain't ready to fight yet. Bitcoin's ready to fight, man. It's ready to fight. It hasn't been hacked. You know, is beating off internal civil wars. The government can't stop it. It's an ETF now. Like, it's good and ready to fight. And here goes Algorand saying, don't take your best gun into combat. Don't take your best guy, gal. Take me. I just started lifting yesterday. My lungs are bad. I'm sick. I'm good to go. No, Algo. But I do love the enthusiasm. I love it because I think things like this are only going to prop the crypto community as a whole, are going to get people interested. And normal people are going to say, whoa, wait, what's this? Because everybody knows what they're talking about, like the big three of the rappers. So now they're like, all right, what's going on in the crypto world? Let me take a peek. So I think this adds some fun to it. Jake Fever in the house. What up, though, man? I'm about to go grab this Neho of Yasamigos and get started this morning. Will that knock off my sickness or no? I don't know. Will that help me? I'm about to grab it. It's right here. I might grab it.
You got that Neho right there?
That Neho, Yasamigos, man. What's up? We on it?
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna be on it later on, man. I got my own pick and stuff. I gotta see you something. I got some stuff for you too, bro. I just wanted to jump on and just want to talk about like where it's all going. And people might be too late, but they not too late. You know what I'm saying? I think this thing is gonna go to like anywhere from 150 to like 250,000. And it might even go even higher.
What's your timeline? What's your timeline looking like?
12 to 15 months.
Good. You saying 12 to 15 months, it might go to 200?
Yeah, man. I feel like this is the time we in right now is 2020 May. Mm-hmm. If we look at it, I think Bitcoin's like at 8K. It had just dropped down and it bounced back up. The halving passed in 2020 May. It was like at $8,000. And then nobody thought it was going to go to 70K. You know, nobody thought it was going to go to 65. And that thing happened so fast. And it was like, it's going to happen in like 2 or 3 months. You know how it go. Like in 17,
I agree with you.
It went from 5,000 to 20,000 from October to the half of December, the middle of December. And the same thing happened last run when in December, November, it was 16K. And then by March, it was 65K.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, well, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is like, man, if you're not in Bitcoin, you're going to miss it, especially between these 12 to 15 months. I don't know if it'll happen in the next 3 months or if it's going to happen like exactly 15 months apart, but it's the time frame that you should be in right now. So what I was saying is like, people think about double and triple their money. This is the best opportunity you ever can. Like if you're thinking in fiat terms, I only think in Bitcoin terms. I'm gonna be able to buy more stuff with my Bitcoin, but most people thinking in the fiat currency terms, bro. They don't really understand. They just see price go up. I'm gonna be able to get more things, but I just want to hold more Bitcoin because Bitcoin gonna reprice the world. You know what I'm saying? So if you really just want to get a 3X, 4X, here's your opportunity, especially if you got 12 months, you don't have to touch some paper.
I agree with you across the entire market. I have Bitcoin kind of coming in, like I said, I'm thinking 150, 160, so not like super far off. And I'm with you. I mean, the difference between 160 and 200,000 is literally like 3 days of Bitcoin and Bitcoining. You know what I mean? So it ain't like it's a crazy flip. My thing is, first let me ask you this. How do you think the altcoins And especially if we do start getting ETFs or just with Ethereum ETF, how is that going to look when it comes to market share? I know you don't think they're going to flip them, but do you think they're going to do anything as far as right now Bitcoin's at what, 50-some%?
It's gonna do the same thing it did on Coinbase. Like DGen gonna DGen. You know what I'm saying? Like the Wall Streeters are worse than us, bro. Like we are more conservative. So like when they start adding things, you know how Bitcoin Cash almost went to $6,000 when they put it on Coinbase the first time. So
Right.
it's just gonna happen all over again. I think the history it's gonna rhyme. I don't know which one's gonna get chosen to be like the great ones. Like Solana is in the news. I think that one's gonna be one that's chosen. And I got some Solana, I got some shit coins, but it's all just to get more Bitcoin or for lifestyle points. I cash them out and save my orange coins, you know.
So right now, I guess for the next 12 or 15 months, are you just for the most part keeping most of your portfolio in Bitcoin, or are you jumping around to make those big plays as well?
Well, right now it's a buy everything mode. Because I don't know when that 2 to 3 months gonna happen, and it's gonna happen rapidly. And then at that point, you get all in a frenzy, and you be like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta move this. I want to get into this coin. This coin is going to 10x in the next 2 days," and everybody tell you every single thing, and you get all discombobulated. So I might as well spread $500 across 50 altcoins, and one of them 100x.
Playing roulette out here, baby.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I got some fun ones. Same thing. I was just like, hey, I'm parking into some fun ones if it work. Because my thing is, especially at this point for me, so I only talk about this stuff. I'm never in the market or whatever. But if I were in the market throughout the years, I've always would have scalped a little bit to make sure I can live, pay bills, and all that good stuff. So when I think about things like what is it that's coming? I'm about to lose my memory right now. When I think about different projects and tokens that are coming out and how you can jump into them and jump out of them and save money, make money, so on and so forth. I'm thinking 2016 again. Like this is where you put your capital into all those fun tokens. Don't touch it. I look at tokens like Casper. I mentioned to people like Casper is doing pretty good right now. I remember when Casper came out, that was one of the ones where it was like, if I were to get into it, I would get into it. Then, get a nice profit, take some out. It's like, yeah, it'll probably do good, but how long? And then it's like, man, Casper went from 0.006 to 14 cents in a short amount of time. So now it's like you know what I mean? Like stuff, it was like a year. I think it took like 11 or 13 months, 14 months for it to do it. And that is one of the ones that I looked at early on. And then it's always something new. And I'm a DGen, right? But now this year, I said, for this next year, I'm sticking in everything. There's no more pulling out. I'm like, things are going to go to zero, or I'm going to pull them out in 2 years. There's no in between for the next ones.
Exactly. It works both ways. Like when you see a coin go down 90%, people say, "Dang, it's down 90%. Let me buy it." But they don't realize that next 99% will devastate you. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like it can go down 9% and you will lose everything. So it's the same thing going up. Like I brought Solana when it was like $20, like about $21. I brought like 100 of them, right? It went to 200. But people don't understand that, okay, I made like 20K off that, but I didn't cash out because it could go to 1,000. It can still go higher. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like it works both ways. On the way up, you see a coin, you be like, dang, it already went up 10x. But they don't realize that it can go up 10x again.
We early. We're just like you said, like people don't realize how super Shiba. Yeah. I mean, the fact that Shiba still is doing what it's doing. Shiba, Dogecoin, a ton of them. So I'm with you. I'm excited. Next year is going to be a big year. Like I said, you're saying the same. My only thing is what's going to happen next. I don't know. So I'm really just focused on optimizing next year. With that being said, people out there, I'm telling you, get yourself a part-time job, do whatever you can every day, make some money, throw it into Bitcoin. Because in a year, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. What else you got for us, Jake? That's it?
That's it. I just want to tell people, though, I talk about a lot of other coins, but I'm Bitcoin all the way. I just do everything else to get more Bitcoin. And if you don't have a full Bitcoin or a whole coin, man, try to get you one. I know it may be high right now, but you'll be a legend in 10 years. A legend.
There it is. Hey, appreciate that, Jake, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right, later. For sure. Good. That was some good gouge right there. And again, shout out to Algorand for saying, hey, we going to the world with this beef we got with these other crypto companies. Just to finish off that story right quick, they said the ad featured a supermarket checkout with shoppers attempting to pay in 3 different crypto assets, Bitcoin, Ether, and Solana. During the ad, the guy trying to pay with Bitcoin is told by the cashier he would have to wait because the transaction would take 27 minutes. Knock it off. The Ethereum payer, that's a lie too, by the way, to make it clear. If I were to do a Bitcoin transaction the last few days, I could tell you for a fact it don't take no 27 minutes. It take like if 2 minutes, like if a minute. Like maybe they need to up their transaction fee. Stop being cheap to pay 1 penny. Pay at least 20 cents. All right. The Ethereum payer is told that the transaction would cost $112 in fees. Now that's real. And the shopper who chose Solana couldn't pay because the transaction kept failing. I'm crying. Hey, shout out to Algorand. That was a great ad. The camera then panned to the next checkout queue, processing customers instantly using Algorand with the captions instant finality, low fees designed for the speed of life. They should have also added hasn't been tested by that many people though yet. Like you got to scale still. Knock it off, Algo, whatever. Political consultant, entrepreneur. Oh, why is he here? Wait, he's in the commercial? Oh my goodness. Political, because I wasn't even going to read this when I saw the name. I don't have anything to guess about. I was like, what does that do with crypto? Political consultant and entrepreneur Anthony Scaramucci also appears in the cameo at the end, asking how to join the Algorand checkout line. Some commenters on X later pointed out hypocrisy after Scaramucci posted on X that a Sol ETF was next just hours after the ad went live. Of course, these are grifters, people. They're going to say and do anything to get money. They don't mean it. Like, what are you talking about? You think he said Sol ETF was for free? Like, what? You're a commentator, right? You're doing commercials, entrepreneur. Like, what are you talking about? So let's check it out. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I can't believe they're taking shots at Bitcoin like this. Shout out to Algorithm. I'm not mad, though. Like I said, I think this is good for industry. It's a base hit. It is a base hit.
Hey, morning. Hey. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
You guys take Bitcoin, right?
Sure do.
I'm going to be paying with Ethereum, if that's okay.
Okay, yep, no problems.
It's a good thing I'm paying with Solana.
You can go ahead and tap.
Hey, I think... No, okay. He looked like another actor.
It failed. Try it again. Whoa, hold up there, sport. It looks like it's going to be another 27 minutes before this transaction.
Oh, no, I think I got to speed this up or they about to hit me with these copyrights. You know how I go. They still might do it, but oh well.
What? Sorry, $112. I have like 3 things.
Ethereum, they got that peak hour gas thing.
Now you got it.
Maybe one more time.
That's Solana.
What are you going to do? Just wait right here, without the bag,
I think it's going to work this time.
Nope. Should have shot with Algorand.
How do I get in that line?
Hey, again, shout out to Algorand. That was fun. I'm not mad. That was fun, fair. That was cool. No cap said Algorand was a rapper. It'd be Big Sean. I think that's fair. I think that's fair right now. All right. And I love me some Big Sean. So I'm not saying nothing bad, but it's like, Algo, you ain't there with Bitcoin yet, which I feel you. Algo might be a short signal they can't scale. Might be a short signal when they can't scale. LOL. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like they always say that. I'm like, man, you got to go through these stages. Algorand, you've been around a while. Why are you not in the top 10 yet? How about we start there? Algorand is actually making Bitcoin and other crypto stronger. All right, that's what's up. That's up. I haven't looked at it in a while, so I'm just talking smack. It's FBF. You already know that. We're talking Bitcoin. Let's see. I bought some seeds with Bitcoin, and it took nearly that long, but I think it was their payment system. Oh, okay. Strike transaction Lightning is 3 seconds. Exactly. What are we doing here? All right. Hey, Jake, everybody like what you were saying. Appreciate that as call as well. Everybody was shouting you out in the chat. All right, last story but not least. We have the Dogecoin dog is gone. No, but will forever be immortalized in the crypto realm, metaverse, and so on and so forth. So shout out to that. That is right. Dogecoin dog Kabosu dies after 14 years as meme. I think I'm saying that right. Kabusu, the dog behind the Doge meme, has died after 14 years of internet fame. Her owner has said the Japanese Shiba Inu inspired a generation of online jokes and became the face of Dogecoin cryptocurrency. She had been suffering from leukemia and liver disease and died on 24th of May. I didn't even know dogs can get leukemia. That's crazy. She quietly passed away as if asleep while I caressed her, said her owner. That's what's up. And that was the happiest dog in the world. And that was her happiest owner. And she said it was a rescue dog, so her real birthday was unknown. But Miss Sato estimated her age at 18. Goodness gracious. That dog had an amazing run. So that's what's up. But yeah, so they go more and more into this story about, how the dog came to be and to come with Miss Sato and things like that. But of course, the part of our space is that after she put the image of her dog on her blog, where it spread to online forum Reddit and became a meme that bounced from college bedrooms to office chains, it used Kabusu and other Shiba Inu Doge for notes like piece of dough, but with the J at the end of the N. When people were talking broken English, talking about the meme, I guess that's how it came out like that. And the picture later became a digital NFT artwork that sold for $4 million and inspired Dogecoin, which was started as a joke by two software engineers. Still is a joke, but people are not the brightest, and is now the 8th most valuable cryptocurrency with a market cap of $23 billion, which is still amazing to me. But whatever. Shout out to Dogecoin. If that were a token that ever jumped into, it definitely helped life out as well. So shout out to Dogecoin. Ain't mad at though. It's unfortunate to that dog. Rest in peace, Kabusu. Until the next one. All right, folks. For the most part, hilarious. Jay, you are worse than me with this. Listen. So I was gonna make some jokes about the dog, but I was like, nah, I already know how y'all get. It's too dark. I was like, I'm not gonna get that dark. But Jake said, I'll do it for you. It's not about dog, but he said now Doge can die too. I'm with you. Doge can finally die with it. All right, we'll just say that. I decided not to make crypto. What else we have? Other than that, people, that's the show for today. It's been a great show. A lot's been happening. Seriously, it's about to heat up in this market. It's heating up. Again, the game plan is to take all the restrictions off of Discord so everyone can join for the short term, maybe next few months as these trading cycles heat up. Ethereum, if you want to get into it, it's something to think about right now. Next few weeks as it goes live for trading markets. Again, anything could happen. It could be pushed back. Like I said, that May 22nd court ruling could have possibly set precedent that we don't know about, and it gets pushed back. However, I doubt it because that will be a loss on BlackRock's books. And if you remember, I think they're 300 and something and 1 or 2 or something like that. They don't take many L's. I don't think they'll take an L on this one. So as it stands, the next 3 weeks, they'll fill out these S1 forms. They'll get them back from the SEC. They'll start trading. And if you're doing any type of margin or leverage plays from now until then, or even when it starts, if you can wait until the trading day starts and start doing leverage plays, because I believe we'll see maybe not the same numbers, but we will see inflated numbers for the Ethereum ETFs in a way to shape the narrative. You know how bad it's going to look if first day, first week, whatever. And again, I'm not expecting Bitcoin, but if they're not pulling in no numbers, what? You just made the federal government threaten the SEC chairman to fire him and press all type of government employees. You had Democrats and Republicans come together to suddenly, mysteriously pass a crypto bill out of the blue, by the way. And all this work in the background has been going on. And you all didn't make no money off the actual sales of Ethereum ETFs? Oh, hell no. That's not even a possibility. Like, I'm talking national disasters was going to have to stop this thing from making money in the short term. So with that being said, right now I'm thinking Ethereum plays, margin on it, possibly going to get some leverage going there and see what happens. Other than that, like I said, that's the show for today. Smash that like and share. I'll see you all next week, apparently with some more crypto, crazy crypto news.